Ooh, it is Lord Haywire. I'm working on my 2D 4X game, and last time we went over, we went over a bunch of bugs. I'm gonna start my music. Everything's very quiet in my ears. I know you guys can't hear it. Uh, we went over some bugs and we got some things done. I am going to work on this bug. It's always time. It's always the time thing has been a terrible pain in the ass, but as we work on it, it seems we get it more stable here. So what's happening, I believe, we should be able to duplicate it right here as we wait patiently, like always. If it's paused and we open up, no, if it's unpaused and we open up one of these, it should pause, which it does. And then if we open up one of these, we can unpause it with spacebar. But if we close this, we can't unpause it. So the first thing we're going to check is to make sure that this is telling it to, see, it's unpaused just on its own. That shouldn't have happened. So let's see so that's a button. Those things are a prefab button. County population. What is set up? What is going on here? So when this thing opens, it's just doing this thing. You opening? What are you doing? Is this what we want? This is what we want. So what does this thing do? No, it isn't when this thing opens though. It's when that just fills, well, that's the button. The whole thing is a button. This is wrong. Go back to that. Go back to this thing. We're going to start over here. I'm getting used to, I'm getting less embarrassed when I do dumb shit. UI county. UI population list info. Okay, so this on click, I think we need to have the time paused is the issue. It's setting this active. Oh, okay. So in this one, let's see. This population description, and we should have that on enable actually. UI, where are you? Player UI, I renamed it yesterday. This one should be, it's when this on enable, yeah, so it does do that. And then on disable, it's on pausing time. And I think what's happening is this one's popping up before, so this pops up before the population description panel is popping up before the other one is disabling. Like it's a split second, but I think that's what's happening. So it's not an actual, the code isn't that, well, I mean, the code is the issue, but it isn't. I think we're going to have to wait. We have a wait right here. What are we waiting for here? That just fills in the instantiates. Now, what is this shit? This is just filling in the population. Yeah, the few things in the description. I don't think we can look at it with that other. Oh, we can. It's just filling in this stuff. I'm gonna rename this person's name text. Seems like that would be a person's name is fine here. Okay. So it's just filling in that stuff on enable, and then, but it should be, and I think we have this pause because it's the same thing. It's too quick. So if we put this in here, it would unpause for a second, which kind of sucks, but Oh, I thought we renamed this to population list panel. Do I have another one of these somewhere? I bet you I do. I have like 2 of them. Huh. What's your problem? So that's world map load. Yeah, then we have another one right here. We don't want 2 of these. We don't want 2 of these. Where the fuck was this thing? Well, there's an easy fix for that. We just comment that out and wait for the bugs to appear. There we go. And here it is. Okay. Is that really the only bug? Or the only thing? Yeah. Uh, yeah, let's just see if this this pause time thing works. It's with that wait. It looks like we've had this issue before with this panel. Whoops, this panel is open. We got problems. Yeah, I would really like to figure out a way to make it so that to make sure that all of these panels are closed before the play happens, so that we don't have that issue where I accidentally forget to close something. So let's see. Unpause it. We open this up. We go to here. It's paused. We go to here. It's still paused, and we can't unpause it. We can't unpause it. And it goes back to that it was unpaused. I was hitting spacebar. Let's check to make sure that this other thing was fixed. So we went to 0 before and it wasn't working, and then we couldn't unpause it with spacebar. So yeah, we fixed it. That was it. We just moved 1 line of code. Well, that was much easier than I expected. I literally was like, that might take 2 hours on its own, and I usually stream for 3 hours. So that was quick. Move scripts from controller to token controller. So I also was thinking, I want to rename this to scene load. We're going to name that because it's not a controller. I don't think it's controlling anything. I don't want to look at all this crap. Muster army, random UI building conversation. Yeah. Hero token sprites. We could put that. I would actually probably put that in another script, like world map load or something. Arrays. It could be fine up here. I wanted a movie though. I want it at the bottom. If I have just like shit there's another way we can do that actually too, is we can just load it from disk every time. And that's probably a better way than to have these drag and drop bullshit. But it's not something we're going to worry about. I don't know what this is. I mean, I know what this is, but I don't like that there. This is a UI thing. It should be over here. So I think what I was talking about, so we have, I don't have one. I guess that's in my other game. So we have, I don't know if I want to do this. So I really do, I really do like ripping giant lists of variables like this apart and then moving them around. For some reason, I think it's really fun. This shouldn't be. We can just remove this. That's probably gonna cause errors. Let's haphazardly doing shit is always gonna cause bugs. So, yep. Oh no, this is some other. Didn't I figure out what this problem was in my other thing? I did. It was something dumb. Yeah, like Visual Studio Editor was outdated. It was. This was the reason that I was getting this stupid serialized. Oh, serialized object of serialized property has been disposed. I think it was this one. We'll update all this stuff though, just to make sure. My voice might get all choppy and weird when this happens. So I already did it, so it's too late. It might already be choppy and weird. Okay, let's go. Let's update this tool chain. Linux test framework. We probably need that too. Yeah, it's only one version, but we still probably need that. And there's this other bug with this version. You can't read that because it's too tiny. That's a whenever I run Unity, all my text at the top of all of my windows becomes all tiny like that. Not all of it, like 90% of it. It's lame, and then I have to reboot. The file explorer looks fine. What was I looking at earlier? And I was like, that's unreadable. Oh, OBS is like is that way. Okay, what were we doing? Package manager, are you done? Let's refresh you, make sure there's no more. All right, and I like to close, and we'll save this. I like to close Unity and reopen it every time I do an update. Who knows if it does something? Who knows if that's required, but Unity's kind of fragile. Unity, that's putting it nicely. Unity is very fragile, especially on the newest version. It's actually not the newest, but it's the I want to work on the thing that the same year I'm in. God damn it. When I first started this project, I was on 2022, and one day I just got wild hair up my ass, and I forgot what we were testing. Oh yeah, so this would be the muster army button, which we turned off because it's not relevant now. So yeah, we got rid of that. Scene load is better than calling it controller. So we were thinking we could tear this stuff apart, huh? I don't want to do that right now. I want to do it as we're gonna reduce this giant thing, even though this is kind of nice to have it all in one spot. But I think we're gonna want to reduce that over time. So let's go back to this and token controller. Well, let's double check myself here. What stuff is in here that's currently right-clicked something? County, info panel. Currently selected token is one. That's it. Yeah, so I think this was, let's just get rid of this. Let's just archive, well, whatever. I think this is, we now have a token, like we just attach the shit to the token. So it's no longer, we'll just say, I don't think this is necessary anymore. Necessary anymore. I might change my mind later, but I'll probably just put it in there. When did I open this? June 11th. So it's not that long ago. But, you know, that's why I'm doing this for myself. There's no way to close the info panels. That is kind of a major issue. So what we're talking about here is so this is another new issue. So this is an interesting issue that I just figured out how to fix. So it's if you have something selected in Unity, if I remember correctly, in the inspector, you get that bug. It's so fucking stupid. It's been happening for like years. For a year, maybe. Anyways, what we're talking about, we'll maximize this. So you're looking at the map, you click on stuff. There's no way to close this. You know what I mean? Like, there should be a way to close this thing. And, you know, if you were to spawn somebody, we're on the hero thing. There's no way to close that either. You can't go back to just looking at the map. And it's kind of taking up a lot of real estate. And if you wanted just to look at the map, so we need to make a way to close this. This is all temporary graphics, by the way. Thought I'd mention that. I was looking at maybe we should fix this line up here where this isn't like touching, and this down here. But no, this is all temporary graphics. Let's not fuck with this. I kind of do like this paper. I'm gonna hire an artist at some point. You know, that's a year down the road, though. 2 years down the road. But yeah, so we just need to put like an X button somewhere. I kind of want to put it here. But it also kind of, I think maybe over here. What happens if we change the size of this thing? Does everything get fucked? No, we fixed that one day. Oh, this gets fucked. All right, so let's put that in note somewhere. I think we have a graphics list. Oh, we have, that's interesting. Uh, when you change from 16.9 to 16.10, whoops, the gap between the county info and the hero list gets bigger. I wonder if it wouldn't do that if there was no army thing. But let's not worry about it right now. As long as nothing's getting cut off right now, which it looks fine. I mean, I guess even if it was getting governed, we don't give a shit about that yet. We have a beautification time coming up. I think up in this left-hand corner is what we're going to want to do is have an X up there. I think that's the best option. So let's do that with county. Let's do it first with county info panel, then we'll duplicate it down the list here. So underneath here, we're going to need a close button. Let's just add a button to it. UI button. Let's turn this on so we can see this button. And we're going to make it all the way at the top here. We're going to put it all the way at the bottom here. And I'm curious if we set this up right. So first off, let's go to our scene here. And let's move this fucker with this. I think it's Alt. We'll put it up in the corner there. That way it will stay up in the corner. When we move the size too, it should stay up in the corner. Yeah, that's the way to do it. It's going to be really in the corner up there. It's going to look shitty. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is going to look shitty. Then we'll change this to 30. We should have done that first. And we'll corner it again here. Let's change the text on it to an X. That actually looks okay. I mean, it looks awful, but it looks okay. No, it looks awful. It will do the trick for now, though. And then we should just, this shouldn't be that hard, honestly. Then we can just change this to say, unless we set this shit up wrong, which is quite possible. Then we can just say, hey, when you do this, turn this off. And then let's close this. The top bar can't ever go away. We don't want that to ever go away. Then we will try this button out. It's very small. I mean, that worked, but we have other issues here. We want this to close then, but I think that's that crazy refresh thing. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. We don't need this timekeeper and this research stuff. Research globals, we don't need that. UI county panel. Why is this named this? Is that what I called this thing? Yeah, that's named wrong. Let's rename that. Let's right now. UI county info panel. And then we gotta fix it here. Yeah, I know, you went away. UI county UI panel. And then we're going to rename this. All right. So I like to try to keep things consistent. So someone in chat like a couple of weeks ago suggested I watch this video about the strategy pattern, which was pretty good. In it, the guy kept coming back to that as well. Like, what if another programmer looks at your shit? Like, you might understand what it means, but another programmer won't. So I try to keep things consistent. It's more for me because my memory's so terrible. I got to keep notes for everything. So it's like I gotta make sure that I can read this shit and understand it later. So that's why like I was so dedicated to like updating this thing and changing it to the right name and whatever. So let's see here though. When this thing closes, we got that stupid import error again. When this thing closes, do we have an on disable? That's actually not even it. It's this muster army button. That might break something. Okay, I guess not. Building panels, that's the thing. What does this say? Retractable or something? Refresher? This is the one we want. It's the UI building panel refresh. No, that's not the one we want. We want the one that controls this thing. This is going to make this the hero info panel. No, it is called the hero and armies vertical group. We have fucked with this thing so much. This is another one that has just been a pain in the fucking ass. So what we need to do, what does this thing do? I saw this weird thing before. What is this? Why does it look like that? If the county heroes is greater than 0, make this true. And we need to say, is the county info panel. Did we decide? I can't actually, how does this work? Let's see. I can't remember how this works. Does it continue to show up when we have a hero? On graphics, let's also put, well, we'll do it later. Eric Prince, isn't that the name of the fucking some filthy mercenary? He owns like Black Mercenary something, Black Death Mercenary Group. So it shows up regardless of if it's county or hero. Oh, that didn't change to the hero thing. I think this is supposed to change to the hero. Did we decide we didn't want that to happen? We might have decided we didn't want that to happen. Well, then how the hell do I get to my hero info? No, this is supposed to change to hero info. When we click on that. So let's fix, we're getting some sort of bugs here as well. All right, let's see what this is. We need to fix that thing. You can go away. Did I close you on accident forever? That was that muster army shit. I don't think we're going to do it that way, and we'll just rewrite it. I should probably just delete it out of there. In fact, let's do it. Let's get this muster army crap out of here. I have a folder where I dump old scripts called my Unity old shit folder. So, muster army button. Let's get it out of here. Could you go away, please? Okay. And there was some other... I'm going to leave that one because we need that one. There's some other one. Select army we probably can also get out of here because it's select token. Oh, there's the fucker. Muster army. That was how we used to spawn armies back in the day. I like to keep this shit out of clear because once again, it's another one of those things where it's just like I'll find it later and I'll wonder what it is, and it just wastes my fucking time. If I have to rewrite it, not a big deal. It's probably written like shit anyways. It's so old. Army movement can also go actually because it's all token movement now. It's all a generic movement script. Well, it's whatever. It's gonna be a generic movement script. Public classes spawned army. So what do we got here? Spawned army. What is this shit? Oh, look at this. It has all sorts of stuff. Goodbye. If I do need to get access to it, you know, I'm saving it just somewhere else. I'll never remember that shit is, but... World map load has something in it. Let's get rid of it. These comments are dumb. They used to not be that dumb, but they are now. They are dumb now. Okay. We have cleared out a bunch of old shit. And so far, nothing has seriously broken. We might get it. I forget what I was doing again. Yeah, we got some. Okay, there's an army sitting in here. You can go. We just had an army popped into existence there. Okay, what do we have in the shit list here? Oh, yeah. We'll leave the shit list there. All right, so we were working on what? What were we working on? Oh, there's no way to close the info panels. Exactly. So what we got to do here is when this thing closes, we want to make sure that we want this test for the hero scroll view. So this thing tests, and we want to test if either one so we need to test, like, I forget how to check if something's active. Let's look here. There we go. I think we tried this once and it didn't work. The local active state of the game object, this returns the local active state, which it's used. It doesn't mean anything, which to me, which is set using game object set active. What is it? Bool self active self. So if I just go, what is this? This is that vertical group. Let's not do that. Let's go into awake here, and if I just say debug.log game object active. But this is gonna be it's gonna ask if let's see if we can do county info panel. County info panel is active. I just want to do a test. Active self. You know, I need to know how to use it before I start trying to struggle to use it somewhere and then it doesn't work how I think it does. I think, so this should say no. False, I mean. Okay, and so it does. Is that a good test? It's a good enough test for me. So what we're going to do is go back to wherever the fuck that thing was. It's this. And we just used it actually. County info panel active self is equal to true. Or, that's not or hero info panel is equal to true. I think that might half-assedly work here. That will make it has to have a panel open, I hope. How are we going to test that there? So when that thing closes, and we need to, this thing only happens on enable. I guess we could just, where is that thing? We could just say when we close it, oh, we don't have a, we could just have a, we wouldn't want it here though, because it's going to apply. I was trying to think. So I was thinking maybe we could write one script for all of the close buttons. And that way, what is there? No. That way, we could just say like close self, but then also, but we won't do that. We'll have it close, and then we'll also have it fire off something called whatever, close X button, X button. I'm trying to think. Is there an easier way? Because there's three of these things. You know, there's the arm, the hero. Oh, I guess there's two of them. There's county info and there's the hero panel. And can we make the X button work for both? And we just stick it in the UI, the player UI thing, and then it closes it. We can do that. So let's get this out of here. Let's go to the player UI script. UI player UI. It's this one. Then can we just say like close your parent? Does that work? This thing is yeah. There's probably a way we can do that. That seems very likely. I mean, we can also just put it on the button, but I feel like if we're going to have a script here anyways, we might as well. Where did we put this other stuff? Where did we put this thing? Because I noticed in world map load it was commented out somewhere. Okay, maybe I was looking at something else. Here it is. I mean, we have all of these things. But I think what we can do to make this simpler, we could just be like game object equals get component. Can I get the game object, and then we say game object set active false, and then here we would say, so it's going to turn the game object off that's above it, and then here we're going to say world map load instance hero scroll view set active false. And I guess we should also put the army, even though we're not using it right now. I still can't decide if we're going to use that at all. Set false. Is someone actually using this thing, or did I just put this in here as a dickhead move? Oh no, we did. We put this. We just used this. Okay, and we took it out of world map load, which actually. Oh, it says right there how many references. Jesus Christ. I think that's kind of so breaking stuff away from world map load. In fact, we should probably put this down into the. Yeah, we should. So let's do that. We were just saying we want to put. This is gonna bust a bunch of shit, but that's okay. We were just saying we wanted to put, kind of like make this less of a pile of shit. Population list. We'll put that here. And then we can just do this. So on the UI, we'll break apart the UI stuff. This stuff isn't being loaded. That's what that world map load. That's why it's called that. It's when the world map loads. So I'll set these false. This is going to probably bust. We're going to probably have to drag them in here again. Yeah, but that's easy. Hero scroll view. We named everything correctly, so I don't get confused. So now we just got to fix all these bugs that we just created. Game object is not a Unity component. Okay. Well, it offered. What is this thing? This is attached to. Oh, that wouldn't have worked anyways. This X button is going to be this one. What are we doing? Oh, I like double. We don't even need this shit. We got it right here. We'll just set those false if they're false. What else was I trying to do with this? This is the info panel button though. X info panel button. There we go. Why did I do it this way? I don't. Oh, I do want it to close itself, but not itself. Do we have that over here as well? We probably do. Yeah, here's the county and hero info panel. I guess we'll bring this with us as well. We don't have an army info panel, so I'm going to delete that one. We'll bust this shit out. And we'll get rid of this army info panel. We had one. I mean, it exists. I guess this exists. This exists, but it isn't in use. We may use that. I don't know. There might be, like I keep saying, I'm confused about not confused. I'm indecisive about what we're doing here. We'll get rid of this shit too. Okay. Now we got a bazillion errors, but that's okay. Because that's the plan, right? County info panel right here, my friend. Hero info panel right here. Army info panel. There we go. Now let's just go through these, and we're gonna take a copy of something here. No, we're not. Not yet. We aren't. Oh, here's where I saw those. This expand button should probably. Oh no, it's doing something to the expand button. Anyways, what do you want? So we're going to go to this is going to be UI player UI. My music stopped and it's making me cry. You can see the tears running down my face, right? Now we're going to just change these. And we'll go to the next one. Whoops. How did I do that? What did I hit? Control B? Sometimes it's very the IntelliCode or whatever it's called. What is this message that you have? Oh, hey, that one thing went away. The warnings went away. Did that happen a while ago? I don't know. Oh, this should be a capital X. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. It's okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is our test. We don't need this here. I was gonna say that might load before. Okay, so this changes. Let's hope that we don't have that issue. That's been like another challenge I've had is order of operations, I think it's called, where well, that time it knew, where certain things pop off ahead of time, and so that's why there's so many. Like I keep having to move things up. We got some more here. When I say up, I mean up in the hierarchy there. I do kind of like that. Not kind of. I do. I do like how dumb that script name is. UI player UI. Love it. Okay. Got any more? It's the face. Like. All right. So let's X this. Oh, we didn't attach this button. That's not going to do anything. Go back to this. I don't feel like I finished writing that. I think I got sidetracked. Yeah, so this should also have, no, a dumb suggestion. I hate you. County info panel and hero info panel. And then we're going to false these fuckers out. We haven't, this is outdated. It is also outdated. I just like to put notes in here, like to remind myself when I'm looking at other code. You know, I'm probably, when I look at, if I was to turn on the Army info panel, we would see how outdated it is. But I just want to, you know, I like to have notes to remind my old brain that things happen or don't happen. Oh, we didn't attach it to the fucking button. The X button, all it makes me think of is Elon Musk's dumbass. We're gonna get rid of this, and we're gonna go player. What? With his change to Twitter, calling it X. I mean, I've never been a huge. For some reason, I think I should rename this to close. I know X is it is an X, but whatever. Yeah, I've never been a big Twitter guy, but even then, it's just kind of amazing how much he has fucked that thing up. And, you know, he's a billionaire, so I don't give a fuck about him. I think he should pay his taxes like everyone else does. Close info panel button. All right, let's see if this works. Pay his fair share. Wait, why did that pop open? Did I have that open? We probably don't need that additional code I added, the if then, but we'll leave it in there. Let's hit play again with that turned off. No, why did that pop open? I don't know. Maybe it was a fluke. Okay, so that all works. We just need to add this button. I'm going to put this. See, the problem if I call it a close, but I'm going to call it an X close button. Then we can just copy this and we can put this on the hero, paste it in there. That didn't go where I wanted it to. There it is. It's set active. So then now let's check. Oh, we got to fix that other issue. Did I make that an issue? Clicking on a hero doesn't open the hero info panel. There may have been a reason why we did that, but it definitely, we need to have that open. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to look at your hero. So we need you. No, that's what we needed. Alan Bailey. There's an X button here. Click around a little bit. Yeah, so we need to be able to click that and have it. Wonder why I did that. I also want all these debug codes to get the fuck out of here. So this is going to be on select hero. Select token. If the currently selected token is already the game object, we don't want it. It's doing that thing, and then you have right-clicked on a hero. So there isn't much going on here. So this is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to go UI player. Well, I say that this is going to be pretty easy. Hero info panel. Oh, now it's remembering false. Fuck you. Then we'll set that to active. True. Oh, we're going to want to close that other thing, though. County info panel. So I feel like there's got to be a better way to do this than having to manually go through. There is a better way to do this. We'll set that active, and we'll go to county info panel. No, we'll go to hero. We need to do it in both. Hero info panel. This whole game is fucking UI. Hero info panel. And then on enable, it's already doing something. What the fuck is it doing? I don't know what it's doing. But every time this thing, it's just filling in that little bit of information. We want this to be, we want it to turn it off automatically. And then on county info panel, we can just go here, and we don't even have an on enable here. On enable, we can just say hero info panel, set it to false. If that thing, if you get turned on, turn this other thing off. That way we don't have to have so much keeping track of all these. It's because that's like a huge issue that I have, that I think I'm bad. This is like part of the thing I'm bad at. You know, I'm not saying bad. It is bad. That I need to be more aware of is automating things when I'm programming, instead of having like these giant lists. Like Select County is a fucking mess, man. Like all of this shit gets turned on and off all manually through here, and it's like see, look, if this is set to true, then these things are getting turned off. Let's test what we just did. We'll leave that up, and if it works, we'll just get rid of that shit. You know what I mean? Like we need to automate. We can't because it's too hard to keep track. Every time you write a new thing, you got to make sure that it knows which things it's turning off. Like it has to turn everything off. It's bullshit. I'm telling you, it's bullshit. Well, that test worked, but um, close this. What happens if we just click this again? You see, it moved a tiny bit, but that worked. Let's comment out this shit. I don't think we need this to be fired every single fucking time. It just, and I have all sorts of things like this in here that I feel like I need to kind of work on, and that's like a major thing that I need to work on to improve is like try to figure out ways to automate things so I don't have to manually be, because it's really easy to make mistakes then later. You add a new panel and then you're like, well, what panels does it need to turn off? And then I still have to put the panels, whatever. There may be even a way to like write a method to where it just says turn off all of these other panels. Anything else that's here, when this appears, everything else that's below it, I guess its brothers and sisters, its siblings, turn all of its siblings off. Something like that. Like I got to think about that more instead of, I guess you could pass in. You could say, you could write a method that takes in the current game object, which would be county info, and then it closes down all the other ones. But do we want it to close down all the other ones? We wouldn't want it to. It doesn't matter. This will work fine for now. But like I said, it's very error prone, the right way of writing stuff. So I'm trying to like get better at that type of shit. What were we just testing? What did I just do? Oh, we're making sure that this thing closes. We need a hero for this. All right, the shipbirds have Jack Clark. Is that guy's name? I mean, we're not getting errors, and it's doing what we want, so that is a success. Did I even turn this thing into an issue? No way to close these. We just fixed that. We can close this issue. Doesn't open the hero info panel. It does now, motherfucker. And combine the county population dictionary in with the county. I was thinking about this right before I started streaming. Currently, the county dictionary list doesn't have the county population dictionary. These are included with it. Instead, they're both separate dictionary lists. Should we combine them? April 23rd. What in flying fuck am I talking about? I was looking at this before I started streaming, and I was wondering what in flying fuck I was talking about. County. Oh, that would solve. There's a better. I don't remember how we're doing this, but I bet you we're doing it wrong. So it's saying the county info or the county population is not attached anywhere where we can see it here. That's what it's saying. What fucking game object is this supposed to be? Itself? Um, oh, token spawn? Is that what that says? Oh, this is a thing. That's a public class. Are we actually? Oh, we are using this. So we're talking about putting the list here, is what we're thinking about. Instead of where is it? The current, where do I look at that currently? I think it's just in the nebula. It's in my brain. No, it's not in my brain at all. It's just in the nebula of, in the back part. It would be in scene load if it's anywhere, but I don't think it is. We should probably rename that. Oh, are these not getting used? They probably aren't anymore. It's unused. County list game object. I don't remember what this even was. It says it's unused as well. So it's one good thing. Well, one of the many good things about modern, what do they call them? Not UIs, editors. There's another name for them. Come on, except it's fucking busted right now. What's your problem? It's supposed to be greening that shit out. The other green. Do I have some bug somewhere? No, I guess it's just done. It doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care about that. It wasn't in use anyways. So what we were talking about doing is putting the dictionary list here. I'm not sure, like, it doesn't say, does it normally say if things are referencing this? I wonder what's referencing this. Um, oh no, county is not a, county is a public class. Okay, wait, no, oh yeah, all right. I thought that was this game object thing. Okay, all right. So we could, we would want to, if we're going to do that, that's going to bust a bunch of shit, but it kind of makes sense. Oh, this is that additional. It's going to bust so much stuff. Where does, so this is a public dictionary of whatever county population. This is serializable, so why don't we see that? Wait, would we have, wait, let me think about this. So world map load. I mean, it's not required that we do this, but what is this problem? Oh, it's that Unity self thing. Uh, was there, did I put a point currently? Oh, this is actually talking about doing something else with it. It's asking about, currently the county dictionary list doesn't have a county population dictionary included with it. Instead, there's separate dictionary lists. Should we combine them? No. The answer is no. What do we do here? We could do that. So what we're saying is we put it in here. Is independent capital? Oh, yes. Uh, so what we're saying, what I was suggesting to myself is we put it in here. That's going to be a shit ton of work because we would have to. How would we do that? We'd have to have. Sometimes I just come up with these ideas that aren't very good. I see. I see what it means. What I was talking about, though, because if we put it in here, we could look at every. We could look at in up here. We could look at it. You know, in the inspector, we could look at. You know, it would currently be here, but we'd probably want to put it down here. Uh, when we hit play, what is going on with this thing? When we hit play, does that county info even fill out correctly, or did I just fuck something up? Like, did we? No, it does. So if we put that in there, we could also have, you know, this has the faction thing in it, but we'd have another thing here that would show all of the population in there. All right, I'm gonna go smoke and make a decision. We may actually do that or try to do it. It might do that thing though, where it says it's the script is pointing at itself or whatever. The serialized field is in a loop. But I'll be right back. Less than 5 minutes. That was a long break. I was in deep thought about this. I actually think we could do this, and it might not be that hard to do. What we would do is we would go to our public class. I don't know if we need to do this though. This new. We are assigning this somewhere. This is getting assigned, like. Yeah, we can't see that one either. That's kind of interesting. That's the way wrong thing here. Where's that? Well, let's look at this. Let's not get sidetracked. I think we would do it like this. Public list county population. County populations? No. And then we would do it. I guess we need this down here. Do we? Let's pretend we don't have that, and let's see what happens. I mean, the worst thing that happens, we get a bug. And then when we generate this thing here, create the population. This goes through. It must be. I don't know what the fuck that is. Uh, where have we? Okay, so this is setting up the county. At the very end, this should blast through each county, and it does. It goes through the county list and creates each county. So wonder why we have this down here. Does that really, like, can't we just do new equals new right here? I don't know. Well, let's see if it bugs out. I think it's going to bug out, but I'm not sure. I think I copied this from some tutorial or something. Uh, so back to this thing. How do we get it to assign? What is this county list? We got to assign this to the correct county. This county list creator was county list. It's just the name and the game object. That will work. That will do the trick. So at the bottom of this for loop, I think we can just say, what do we got here? Null. And we just got to make sure we got it at the right thing. Oh, let's call this county game object because we have that other thing called county. So at the end of this, I think we just go and get component. Oh, was I going to stick it to the county info or the county? We don't need this. We're sticking it in the county. we need, where's that thing? We're in world map load already. So this is going to be counties, county name dot county population equals yeah, we have these separate, we have these two lists that are kind of similar, which is dumb. Equals that. I don't know if you can serialize dictionaries. I think that might be part of the problem. Those, it says serializable. I don't know. We didn't get any bugs. There they all are. Well, that was too easy. Nothing's imploded. Oh, we haven't checked this, though. We haven't gotten any errors up there. That was way too easy. It was one line of code again. That's twice we've had one line of code solve something. Okay. I guess we did that. I don't really. It's not that I mean, it's useful if we want to. If we want to debug, it's going to be very useful. And I have been getting more into. I swear to God, this is running better without all these things here. I have been getting more into showing everything in the inspector. I didn't used to be that way, but I'm finding it with debugging. If you can watch what's happening to someone or something, if you can watch what's happening to it in real time, it makes debugging a hell of a lot easier than try to put debug logs everywhere. See, look at this. How old is this thing? April 8th, we worked on this similar bug. We're just gonna archive this shit. I'm just clearing up some room in our only. I'll do this as the last one. Okay, so bugs are done. We can put the bugs all the way back down at the bottom. We probably aren't going to do that. You know, we aren't going to wait that long to get back to bugs. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is this AI factions. And this one's a big one. This one's very big. In fact, we should. I don't know. Both of these are bullshit. But we're going to move this over here. We're going to move this all the way to here. And we'll leave that there. Because that shows that that's. Wait, AI factions or AI? AI factions, I think is what this should be called. This is pretty much empty. AI army creation, it's talking about hero creation. We just want to get one basic thing working. This is going to be, let's add a new item. What did I do? 4? 5 of those things. Then let's put this here. This might just, yeah, I don't know what that is. This is gonna be a pretty major thing. So let's also make a new branch. We're gonna do the same thing we did yesterday. Let's close Unity, which I didn't do last time. We're gonna move to we're gonna push all of this stuff. I'm not gonna make a copy of it. I feel confident this time. This round of bugs have been fixed. Commit all. Some of those weren't really bugs. And then we'll push this shit to here. I guess I'll check my notes just to make sure. Commit everything to GitHub. Manage branches. Change to the main branch by double-clicking. Right-click on branch you want to merge, then merge branch. Merge bugs into main. What are all these things down here? Is this because I double-clicked over? Where did all these errors come from? I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna give it a second. What was that shit? Did it do this last time and I didn't even notice? Weird. It must have done that last time and I didn't notice because, you know, it doesn't happen right away. Let's hope. Merged bugs into main. It says that there's two. Now I'm all worried I just fucked something up. You know, I did have it open last time. I don't like it to be open because it's like editing files while I'm doing shit. Three minutes ago. And we're on main, right? We are. Wait, let's hit play here. Our little X buttons here. I guess that one, the X button wasn't a bug. It was in a, what do they call that? Player. I can't remember anything. What is this thing? Player improvement? I don't know. Let's just get rid of all this. This is going to be wrong anyways. All right. So let's delete that branch. We don't need this bug branch anymore. It's been dealt with, if you know what I mean. Delete. Let's make sure I'm deleting the same one. It didn't even warn me. It just said, fuck it, it's gone. I guess it's because I wasn't in that branch. We can also get rid of the branches up here. And delete that crap. All right. I don't know if that's the proper, you know, maybe you're supposed to leave them around for 6 months and then. All right. I keep saying all right. So I tried to stop saying okay, and now I've changed it to all right. You know, you want to fill the empty space in your heart. All right. The first thing we're going to need is a 1, 2, 3. I think the easiest way to figure this out is to have a factions a game object for every faction. I think that's going to be the way we're going to want to do this. Is we're going to want to be able to look at these factions and what's going on. So that's why I said this is going to be a big one. This is the first time we've even messed with the AI stuff for the factions. So let's add some items to this. Create game objects for every factions. For every faction. We're going to want to do that. We're gonna need to apply. We have that factions thing. It's kind of similar to what we just did, where we're gonna have to have a factions script. These aren't really issues, and they're more faction script, AI faction scripts. PPG 15, how's it going? I don't think we want to call it. I think we're going to need a faction script, but we can't call it faction. Let me think about this. I haven't really thought about this very much, except for the fact that I think we're going to need a game object for each faction, and there's 3 different types of factions. So there's a player faction, there's an independent capital faction, and then there's just like the basic faction. That's going good. It is going good. Starting a new step, a new branch actually in this project. And I got to think it through, you know what I mean? Like, can't just jump haphazardly in. Well, I could. So there is the public. So we're going to want to have this attached to the game object, this public class, I'm pretty sure. I am working on a 2D 4X game, kind of like, in a unrealistic world. It would be like Crusader Kings, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Dominions 5 or 4 or 3 or 2, any of those. I'm trying to merge. It's very infancy though. I'm gonna hit play here, and we'll maximize this. But there's we got the map down so far. You can click on stuff. You can build buildings in each different whatchamacallit, county. We got research. So what I'm doing is like trying to get everything in the most simple form. And then once I've done everything in the most simple form, go back through everything and add a little bit more, and then go back through everything and add a little bit more. Like the first round, when I'm finished with it, it would be a playable game, but it would be absolute garbage. It would just be fucking trash. And we can spawn some guys. Oh, I can spawn them over here. I'm not supposed to be able to do that. Can I move them? No. Oh, it's paused. I can move them over here. Well, we'll have to fix that too. Yeah, it's 5 years from now. That's that's my plan. And I said that like 6 months ago. So it's never compressed. Someone in chat, like on my second stream or something, was like, I think you'll have a good game in 6 months. And I was like, 6 months? That's really optimistic. I only work on the weekends too. And so far I've streamed every time I've worked on it. So it's like, 300 hours of boredom at this point. So let me think here. What did we just found a bug? Oh, I can spawn in other. Let's just put that on our list. That's going to be under, because that isn't really a bug. It's just, it's obviously not what we want, but. How did I do that? I'm going to duplicate my mistake because I want to put an issue in for it. Oh, it's because I can see these guys still, which we haven't decided how that's going to work. Okay, so that is, yeah, we just haven't gotten to that part. So let's go back to heroes here. Uh, wherever I put that. And let's add in the player. Make sure the player can't see enemy heroes in the hero scroll view, and they can't spawn them. That's right. That's probably a big. You're in the wrong. No, you're in the right spot. We're gonna put this up here. Come on, a little faster. Oh, I already have it. I already have it right there. Delete. But yeah, that's about as far as I've gotten so far. I used to also like have you could spawn armies, but I don't know how I'm going to do that anymore. I want the heroes and the arm. The heroes and the armies are so similar that it's going to be like, what's the point of having them separate? Uh, but yeah, so right now I got to think about how we're going to do this with each AI faction. So this is the first time I've written like any. I've written a little bit in my other game, but it's just like pathfinding, and the AI just runs at you and attacks you. I work on another game that I don't stream. I can stream it occasionally, but not it's very it's a lot simpler than this one. I picked a more difficult thing to start with. So we have this faction public class. So we probably just we're gonna need we're gonna need to put this first things first. We're gonna have to have. How are we gonna do this? I would like to generate. We could put a prefab. We could put a prefab that gets generated here. You know, it wouldn't be on here. We wouldn't see it. We could manually. I rather have it automatically generate when we start the game. Except then we won't be able to look at this shit unless we. Well, we wouldn't be able to look at this shit anyways. One of the things I was thinking about too is to change these instead of in here. In here we have in world map load. We have all of this faction bullshit being generated, and I was thinking about we save it to a JSON, wherever it is. Um, we actually might use that. I'm a noob, by the way, a noob programmer. I'm just learning as I go. And it's funny looking at I say this probably every stream, it's funny looking at the code that I wrote at the beginning compared to the code now. I feel like it's much better now. It's still not great, but it's better than other things. How was I doing this faction thing? And then I got to remember how I created this faction. Is it just all manual ads? I don't even see. I don't see. Assign faction name and color to faction, but where does the faction get created? Whoops. I have just the T highlighted there. Oh, I remember. This shit's just typed straight into the inspector right here. This is generated somewhere else. So yeah, this is just typed right in here, and then I had sign them. What is this thing? So it's just a list. Is it a list with? Is it a dictionary list, or it's just a list? Uh, so I think we should probably get that information from a JSON, which I've only done once, and that was like a year ago, but it shouldn't be that difficult. First, I'm gonna have to save a JSON with the shit so that I can see what its formatting looks like. That's how I do everything with this because JSON I don't actually I find JSON hard to visualize when I edit them, but it's what everyone uses. And I want to make this moddable, but it's also open source, so I don't know if there's any point in that. But all right, let's see here. So that I think the first step is going to be we will save. Yeah, it's just all typed in here. I guess we don't have to save this to disk now, but I think that's going to be the next step. I can't remember. I could ask ChatGPT. That thing probably could figure out that. That would be easy. I read an article that said that 40% of the no, 50% of some 40 or 50% of the things that ChatGPT replied to programmers was wrong. And I believe it, but I feel like that's a pretty low. Like I don't feel like it's that wrong. That seems pretty wrong, like pretty high number of wrongness here. Uh, Logging into it right now because I can't remember how to write to. We got to write to uh, write a list to a JSON file. You know what it is? So it's okay with simple shit like this, but it's fucking croaks if you get any kind of complication in there, and it just gets so confused. This might be wrong, actually. I wonder. I have it somewhere. What was that other game called? It was called. What was I using that? Oh, I wrote a save file. A save games system. That's gonna be under. Let me find it here. It might be easier to look at my own shitty code and compare it. Uh, Scripts. Portland. This had a similar script, like it's called scene load. Wow, look at all that. What the fuck is all this? Okay, it's not this. This is UI scene load. We want the other one. I was wondering why I called it UI scene load. Uh, I think it's in here somewhere. In fact, I'm almost positive. Let's search. I think we got a thing here though. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. We want current document. Oh yeah, so I had to put all these things in for testing. So a lot of times I wouldn't be like making your character because when I made this game, when I worked on this other game, this is like the first one I did. Making the character creation was so tedious it made me not want to make video games anymore. Uh, but I had it so that I didn't want to go through the character creation process, so I just had a character saved. So I was like loading a game, but sometimes I did, and so I had to tell it that there was things going on. So what the fuck is this? So this is reading. We're reading it all. This must be the public class. that it's getting from this file. So where do we write it? Yeah, see, so what did ChatGPT say? It had some like system IO bullshit in here. Maybe we're using that in another spot. Well, I guess we might be. No? Right. Like I have a switch here. What does the switch do? Oh, it's just a random start. Oh yeah, I forgot you had a random start in that. Oh yeah, so I specifically named one dev save because I had to test the save system a bunch. So let's see here. Where was I saving this shit? It would have been in character creation. Oh yeah, I started working on multiplayer for it. Finalization panel sounds likely. Oh, see, I would do this differently now. Oh, I remember. So this was some crazy, yeah. Uh, I wouldn't do that differently now. Right all. Yeah, so ChatGPT, so that would be wrong. That would be it's ChatGPT is wrong. And I remember going through this fucking look, I used an underscore. This must be copied directly from someone else's code. Uh, I went through this big rabbit hole trying to figure this out, and it was a huge pain. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about there. I mean, I don't. I may also not know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I currently don't know what the fuck I was talking about. All right, so it looks like we should be able to. Where is it? Where is it saving this shit to? Persistent data paths. So that's going to be a spot where I don't want it to be saved to. I want it to be saved to streaming assets or whatever. Do we even have that created? Streaming assets. We do. What do we got in here? Oh, we got the names. We got names. We'll create a new folder called factions. And what did we, no, we read from there. All right, so let's pull this over here. Let's put, so yeah, anyways, I went through this, we'll put the scene load over here. And it took me so long to get this to work originally. This is when I was really, really new to programming too. And I remember all this system IO stuff, and that's probably, wherever ChatGPT stole this thing. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're just saying she. I was gonna call ChatGPT she. It. You need to download and import the Newtonsoft.json file library. No, get the fuck out of here. I don't even have it on this one. Anyways, yeah, I went. So this one's using that JSON utility. Am I using that? I am. All right, so let's copy this shit over here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and then let's go to here. Where do we want this test? This is basically a test. We can probably do it. Let's do it in start. Let's just do it in the beginning of start. And this is also, we're going to make this. I'm going to change how I do a few things here. So the save game name looks like this is probably a string. Oh, this is because you could type in shit. We'll just call this factions. And well, I want this to be the streaming one though. Can I? Well, does it know what I'm talking about? Yes. I wonder why I had to put these slashes in here. I'm gonna do something here. Wonder what this true means as well. Let's do this. I'm not gonna put a path in right now. I'm just gonna put that. I'm gonna comment out this thing. And this is gonna be called. Hey, that isn't the. What did I put? This is gonna be. Oh, this is only saving one thing. I wonder what happens when we try to save the whole list. And then after that, I wonder what this true thing is. I think there's something. Pretty print. Pretty print. If true, format that output to be readable. Yes, I would like my output to be readable. What? All right, it still doesn't know what this is. It cannot be used like a method. How did I have this? I did a plus and this other shit here. Where did I? Let me look at my other thing. This is supposed to be like this. I really had to use, huh? All right. So this is going to happen on start. What do you want? We got too many of these is what it's telling me. And let's just see what happens. We got streaming assets right now. We'll try to get into the factions thing first. Or later. I just want it to appear first. I see nothing. Start has happened. I wonder though. If it's in here. And no, that's just meta. Okay, so that obviously didn't work. So what did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? Let's put something besides, because that file is also called, or that folder is also called factions. We'll call it faction list actually. Write all text. Maybe because that was the same. I feel like I would have gotten an error, but this is like a, that's something you got to write yourself, I think, for the for disk stuff. I don't think it tells you unless, you got to like check. And in fact, I think I remember like uh, having it like count how many files were there, and if there was more, if it was equal to the, like at the beginning it would count, and then at the end if they were the same, then something went the same number, it went wrong. Nothing has appeared here. With the other thing we could do, let's see if we go back and so this is persistent data path. I don't even know what our persistent data path is. It could be, I think these slashes actually have to be here. I think these slashes have to be here actually. I don't know why we would need that, but I think they do. All right, one more try, and then we'll switch it to persistent data path, and we'll see if that appears. It's gonna put it like in your roaming data or some shit. Yeah, it was the slashes, the stupid slashes. So let's see what this thing looks like. It's nice and empty. Okay, so factions, when does factions exist? It exists here. So it does exist here. So something else is, let's put this farther. I don't know if this will overwrite stuff. I think it will. Let's cut this. Let's delete this. And let's actually put this back. Let's cut this and put this farther. We'll put it at the bottom. I'll delete this over here. My music has stopped playing. I don't know if we even need to do this writing to disk thing right now. We're going to have to go into the file each time and edit it if we want to update stuff. Yeah, maybe this isn't necessary this second. How does it know? Yeah, it's still blank. What happens if... Let's make sure I put in the right thing here. Did this put that utility up there? No. How does this look again? Oh, did I just close it? I want to look at this one more time here. Colt is the name of this other game. Scripts. Character creation, finalization panel. I'm writing 0 to it. I wonder if I bet you that's, where was this thing? World map load. Is factions a dictionary? What is this thing? No. I bet you there's got to be a different way to do this where I write. In fact, I think I did this in another one. Where the fuck did I do it? I've been starting games and then giving up on them pretty regularly. Let me open a new one of these things. Yeah, this one has stuff in it. Yes, I remember this now. I did this in another one where you have to write each. You like append to it. Look at this little thing on the side. Yeah, you append to it. You have it like a for loop that appends through, if I remember correctly. Maybe we should skip this part for now. We don't necessarily need it. Let's think about this. We can stop this shit. So the factions are currently just typed into the inspector, which I don't particularly like. I had one instance where I don't know if I merged badly or something, but I loaded up Unity and everything was missing out of the all the variables that were possible. Like all this stuff was missing. It was just all none, and I had to go through, and it was a huge pain. And since then, I've been very reluctant to just use the inspector to have stuff saved. I'd rather have it saved to disk somewhere. So let me think here. So what is the first key to this whole thing? Do we want to have game objects that are generated? Do we want to do a game object that we can look at while we're programming? Because if we do that, we're going to have to manually create. We can't instantiate them. We're going to have to manually create. Like, without the game running, do we want to be able to look at it? Is there any point in looking like these ones without the game running? No, everything's fucking empty. I don't think that matters. The counties we have to have, because it's got, it's going to be on there. The factions don't actually exist. So let's start with that. Let's start with baby steps here, like normal. Faction like creation, faction generation, faction something. Faction generation, I guess, is good enough. It's not really generating them so much as we can close this thing as it is. We'll stick it on here. It is actually, it is generating them. It's generating their. We probably want this on start. It's generating their game object. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that that's how that was. For each, no, for 10, no. We're gonna say this is a list. We can just var. We need to probably name this thing. It's interesting it put in 10 in there. I wonder why. We're gonna need a. Oh, actually, we can just do it to itself. Do it to itself. Instantiate. We're gonna have a game object. We're gonna do game object. Game object is gonna equal, and I can never instantiate. I'm gonna have to copy this from another. Where are we instantiating something in this? We are instantiating something when we click this button. Somewhere. Oh, we finally got rid of this crap. What is this? UI hero spawn button. Where's my instantiate? Right here. We're just gonna instantiate. Can I just say a game object? No. Can I just say? Let's look it up. I don't need a prefab. Am I gonna need a prefab? I think I am. That will have like the AI, its thoughts, and yeah, we are gonna need a prefab. So that's pretty easy though. And the first, we're just gonna make just a nothing here. We'll just put in. And then we'll just put this in here. This is only going to be using the inspector, so it's going to be weird. We didn't save this. Oh, because we got bugs. So we can do faction prefab. Faction prefab. Comma. I can't see spawn location. We can't just say as a child to this thing. We might be able to. I don't think we need to spin it. I don't know if we just put that. I've always had extra shit in there, so what happens if we just do this? Yeah, we'll get to that. So this should put a second one that says clone on it, actually. I did it 5 times, 6 times. What? Oh, right, because it did it. That was right. That is what we wanted, but we don't want it that. We want it to be a baby of this thing. Uh, can I just do game? Can I just do this right here? Oh, it's just a transform. This transform. Oh, I can just put transform in here. No, 6 was right. 6 was the right number. Because there's 6 factions. Is there 6 factions? Yes. There's 7. There's certainly currently 7 counties, and the player starts with 2 for this testing during the development phase here. All right, so that is correct. So then we can also do game object dot name equals. Then we can do this. We would need this generated anyways because there might be the factions might change. Well, I bet you this is happening too fast. Oh shit, I'm gonna take a quick break. The fuck is this song? I'm listening to The Damned, and they have a few newer songs that sound kind of like mildly country, and I've never been a big country fan. I just typed this shit in here too. I wonder why this didn't. work. I think I just typed this. The color gets generated. No, wait, there's some like weird faction name and color generation thing. We just saw it. Yeah, but it's in start. So we'll want that thing to wait a second. Yeah, so this thing is getting a sign there, but it doesn't know what it is yet. That's the problem. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, though, and then I will be back in less than... Well, let's stop this. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Maybe. Yes. All right. Let me turn off my break timer and start my music and skip the song. So I need an example of Unity wait for seconds, and I think you can put like a float in here. Actually, no, I just want it to wait 1 frame. 1 frame's probably enough. We don't need to wait for seconds. And I have that somewhere already. Yeah, it's right here. This guy has it. It's not Kurt. This guy has no. I thought he had 12,000 posts, like this other that like Kurt has his 18,000 or whatever he's up to. Um, I'm gonna rename this. This is going to be a really long one. But I'm going to rename this because it's going to throw me off. I'm going to call this game object generation. And you can go away. I know it's long, but I like the long names. I like the descriptive names. I'm going to copy this. I like the descriptive names because I don't want to fuck it up later in my terrible memory, like we've discussed many, many times. So we want... Oh shit, I just wrote over this guy's thing. All right. We want... Whoops. Co-routine... we'll call this generate. We'll call it create faction game objects. And then we'll copy this thing to here. But then we need this. This needs to be an enumerator. We can get rid of this. And get rid of that. The cat has come in. It's not a lap cat. It doesn't jump on laps. It doesn't like to be picked up either. It gets upset if you pick it up. It just likes to live its own life, which is a life of just constant meows. Just constant. All right, so that worked. So, with this prefab, though, what do we want attached to this prefab? We're going to want... What do we need to know on this? So we're gonna have it like this. We're gonna attach like an AI script to each one of these. And that's why I was thinking we need to load that faction information from disk, because we're gonna be doing like when this gets done, like, well, the plan is to have 500 of these little counties, so we're gonna have a lot of data. Maybe I keep thinking maybe scriptable objects to handle all the data, but that's not even, it doesn't even matter now. So on this prefab though, what do we want attached? We're gonna have, we can actually just delete this one. So that will generate, every time we start the game, it will generate all of the factions. So what do we need to, what is the AI gonna need to know? It's actually, it just, right now, so let's create a script. We're gonna do, I'm reluctant to call it faction AI, but we'll call it faction AI for now. And then we're gonna go, so we're in, like, I'm in uncharted territories here, trying to get this thing to think. What was the thing I wanted it to do? I wanted it to build a building. That's what we want to try to get it to do. Let's add that to make our list here. Heroes, where's my factions? There we go. Create, we just did that. We just did that. We want, so this is going to be an AI script. This isn't, we need to just edit this thing. This is going to be create, have each faction start building a building on game start. That's the big one. And that will be like the only thing we'll get this thing to do now, and then we'll go on to the next one, which will be diplomacy, we need the factions for the diplomacy, because that's a whole nother thing. Then we need the factions for the combat, and then we can add on to that. We just need this framework going here, and we needed to think enough. So faction AI is going to go on this prefab. And this has nothing in it currently, but it's going to need, let's start with privates. Is that a list? No, it's a private faction called Faction. It's a private faction called Faction. Okay, so are we going to want one for the... Yes, we're going to want one for the player, too. I was thinking maybe we don't want one for the player. And actually, let's serialize field this just in case. And just in case we need to see that shit. So then when this thing is being generated, though, after this has been... We're going to assign the faction to the faction. Game object, get component, faction AI, faction, no. I called it faction, what the fuck? Did I not call it that? I made it private is the problem. I think we're going to use these actually, is why I haven't deleted that. Faction is going to equal... So this is going to assign that to that. I guess we will get rid of that. And then... Let's just test it. I'm always worried. I'm always paranoid about shit not working. All right, we don't have them getting any stuff yet, but we do have like research items that they know how to do. This should be like completed, is building, is researched. Yeah, so I thought we also attached a building list to here. Now we do have a faction leader for each one already built. We have their resources. I totally thought we had faction buildings. They need to be... Is this bugged out, or do we have it hidden away? Is it a... I swear to God, we just looked at that. We also have this thing writing to disk every time I didn't like get rid of it. Where was that? That was under we don't need the disk thing right now. I don't know why this is way behind. Oh, it looks like I'm occasionally losing frames too. Like normally this thing makes us all turn green. What was I doing though? I'm always forgetting what I was doing. I get sidetracked and I start thinking about multiple things and I see multiple things. So we're going to have that go down. We needed to see the buildings. That's what we need to do. I swear to God, this shit is... Yeah, create research building list. Go through all the factions, create a list of the research, which is currently all completed. Which I guess, did we test that if we could ever do that? Look at this. I have a for each in here for some reason. We have the counties, possible buildings. So it is a counties thing. So it's not my wait, no. Faction research is, was that in here? Yeah, faction, but it's by county. So we're going to need to also assign the counties that it knows. What? Oh, we do need that generic thing that I got rid of earlier. So actually this, hey, you know that thing I tested earlier didn't bug out. I think this shit's broken over here. What was that? Not broken, unnecessary. Where the fuck was that? It was right here. I don't think we need this. Put a little note in so I can, if I see it again, we have, you know, it's when do I want to test that right now? Not really. All right, so it has to be a list. It has to be a list because it's going to be a list of all the counties it owns. And it's got to be its counties faction owns. Let's make it not, because that other one's called counties. This is going to be a list of all of the counties the faction owns. So this is back to here where where are we doing that? I think we're doing that. Man, this thing is convoluted as shit. Why aren't these counties I add, or why is county population below county instead of equal new? I believe this is because the county dictionary has only been initialized and needs the. I think this idea might be wrong, really, because it's a public class, not a list. Counties add to county dictionaries. A list of biomes, first county. All right, so these are just some notes of me talking about. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's pretty normal. So at the end of this, though. Yeah, this song sucks too. Is this another new one? It is. You know how it is with bands that have been around for 20, 30 years. They start to suck as they get newer. All right. That's a very a very big generalization. What the fuck is this county's list thing? I think this is just a list of their names and shit. Why did I do this? Oh, because I needed to like get some list of names, which I don't actually think we need anymore. Yeah, it's adding their name and their game object in there. I wonder. I mean, we just used it a few minutes ago, though. I guess so. Then at the end of this, what we have to do, we just have to go through them again. We can't though. This is a dictionary list. This is a dictionary list. It is. It's not a dictionary list. It's a dictionary public class. All right. So I think we got to do for each. I'm very unfamiliar with for each. For each string. Now, what was that weird key thing that we had that we did before? I bet you that's why we did that weird shit. Where was that? I'm talking to myself, obviously. This thing. Okay, so this is going through each county. This is almost identical to what we need. Actually, doesn't we just need this part? Oh no, it's not. Item.key. I assume that's the county name, but let's like make sure here. It is. There's a big space and it says county. What? What did I do that? Why did I do that? Oh, it's the item value. I wonder why I put a bunch of spaces there. Maybe this is like a typo or something. Uh, where is this thing? Where's my county? Where's my Chat GPT? It failed. It failed on the first try. Uh, in Unity, I want to be able to go through each of the items in this dictionary and do something with them. What is all this extra shit you're telling me? Yeah, I just want to see the for each var KVP. What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Some days I swear ChatGPT is dumber. So this is once again, like it found some. It's just like this other one. It found like on Stack Overflow or something. I bet you if we Googled, uh, I bet you if we Googled this Unity and this, we could find exactly where it's probably going to be older. It pulled this thing. So I did this tutorial. This shit was crazy. I did a Code Monkey tutorial where I was like following along and typing into Visual Studio or whatever, and I had uh, GitHub's Copilot, and I would type in like 3 letters, and it would fill in the rest exactly the same as the Code Monkey's code. And so I knew that they had taught their thing with Code Monkey's code. And I thought that was such fucking garbage. Like, because I had never typed this shit into mine. So it had to be getting in. He writes stuff very in a specific way. So it'd be like, the variables, everything. It was identical code. And it would just, so the whole tutorial that I went through, everything was auto generated. I could type in like 3 letters and it'd just be like, blurp. And it was crazy. It was blow my mind that blatant of a ripoff. I don't want. I bet you we can find that though. Look, there's an Unity editor thing. Oh, we don't need this up anymore. And so we probably found like, what is all this population random range? I didn't type any of that shit in there. What are you doing? This song's pretty good. Gotta turn my music up. It's a requirement. Oh, it's very quiet. So what is it? Why did you call this? Why I'm just talking at it. Why the fuck did he call it KVP and why did he use var? Now I'm just calling it a he. Why did you use var and KVP? For brevity and clarity in example code, go fuck yourself. So that's like all of that. What's probably happening that where people are always using foo. It's like that. No, use a real life example, dude. And it's usually ChatGPT does. That's why I'm surprised that it's using like this abbreviation for whatever. It's so hard to follow along when everything's foo. Foo dot this, foo that, foo that. I like to go on diatribes about uh, tutorials because I look at so many of them. I look at this on the other screen. Is this the same? It's not the same because they use var. We do want it here though. And we want it after. So what are we trying to see here? We're trying to add. Yeah, it's supposed to be here. Let's put this back here. Item and counties. I'm just going to debug log this shit. And just see, like, I think, if I say item, yeah, item key. What's your problem here? I stole its bracket. And I think this is identical to that other debug log that I uncommented out. Where was that fucking thing? I created a bunch more research, got carried away. What the fuck is this? I can't. That doesn't do anything. Did I just cut that out of there? Did I cut something out of there? Whoops. I don't think I did. What the fuck? I guess we could look back. We look in GitHub too. Man, this song sucks too. Oh, it's all off that same album. They have a couple really good songs on that album. um, man, my eyesight's going. I refuse to get glasses because I'm vain. On Ocean name, first person I've known to hate Foo. Really? Foo's been nice to you? Uh, let's see. Where's this thing? Okay, here's the one that we're copying from. We need this to go up here. Man, I need glasses bad. I can't even barely read that. I feel like it's one eye only is more. Oh yeah, it's my left eye. I'm going blind in my left eye. Staring at a computer too much. At least that's what my mom would tell me. It's right here where we want this. Yeah, it's right here. I was like, what are you doing over here? Oh, I meant to comment out that other one. All right, so I think we can do this with now that I figured where was this here? We can just do this. Uh, I think with that we can do what I want to do, which is for each one of these we want to go. Basically, we want to go through the counties. How are we going to do this? So we need to go. We need a for loop. How are we going to do this? We need to go through each one and assign it. We never once. I don't believe it. Oh, then we're gonna have one of those loops, which is bad. All right, this whole thing was a waste of our time. We don't need to do this. How are we assigning it to the faction? Yeah, so it already knows which faction it's in. Why can't I see this then? So how do we want to do this? We need, so wait, it is, oh, but it's not a number. It's a word. This is going to give us a bunch of shit though, because we have the faction assigning the county, and then we're assigning the county to the factions. So we need to go through every county, and if the faction equals the faction name that we're currently looking at, we need to add the county to that list. This seems like duplicate work. It seems like I'm doing things twice. I guess I'm not. It's a new list of the with the faction. The counties the factions own. But we're going to need that for when the AI does stuff. It's going to have to check every county, and it's well, not every county every time, but sometimes it's going to have to check every county and be like, "Hey, do something." And I kind of want to do like sort of a random thing, but that's later. So let's think about that. So this is going to go through this counties dictionary, and it's going to if. No, wait. So we're going to have it go through each one, and then we're going to have it go through each fucking faction. I actually just wanted you to fill in the rest here. Yes, actually, this is gonna this is gonna be the this is gonna be a. I feel like we're doing this twice, but for each one of these, we need to check every faction. The factions are a list, though. I don't know why I pasted that whole thing there. Jesus Christ. Faction. Not count. This song sucks too. Is this off the new album? It is. This album fucking blows. It has like two really good songs. but I can't remember the name of them. All right, so it's going to go to the first county, and it's going to go through every faction, and it's going to check if see, this is the thing. We're assigning the faction here. Oh, you know, the other way we could do is we could go through every faction and compare it to see here. If we're manually assigning this shit, though, which we would be at the beginning, I feel like this is, like I said, we're duplicating work. Yeah, this song sucks too. It's called Motorcycle Man. Like, I love The Damned, but Jesus Christ, this new album. Okay, so we have. God, I wasted like 20 minutes looking at this thing. We're manually assigning this, which is part like when we do the JSON thing. Are we going to be manually assigning this stuff long term? I'm trying to think. Each faction has to match up. They don't actually. They don't need to. They don't need to. So like this part. Besides the player factions, which we say, so there's the 3 different type of counties. I guess we'll just do it this way, but it's really, I feel like we're doing this twice. Let's not do it here. We can do it right here. We can do it right here. This is a better spot for it. Because this is already going through all of the factions. So then it's so it's gonna go through in the first faction, it's gonna go through and it's gonna go through all of these. We got too many things here. All right, yeah. So if it's going to already go through every faction. So faction 0, for the first one, if factions, are we going by name here? 0 is equal to let's put this up here. What is this thing? This is we'll be lazy and do var because it's a list. I guess we could just put a list there. It's a list of counties. I always try to do this shit because it saves my ass later. Oh, except it's a dictionary list. We're gonna use var. We're gonna use var out of pure laziness. Okay, so we can go just with counties here. All right, so if faction 0 equals counties dot faction counties item key. Dot faction. No, why did I say 0 up here? What's your problem? Oh, this is lowercase k. We're just gonna I'm not very confident on what I'm doing here. This is this county is in a faction. They're all in factions. Let's do it this way. I can never remember this thing either. When I have like a complete sentence with a bunch of variables in it, I just use the squigs thing. Otherwise, I just add the thing at the end. I was about to say, I can't believe that I remembered how to do that. I didn't remember how to. There we go. There we go. Took me an eternity just to write that one sentence. Maybe we can get this to work before I call it a day. I don't think I need this in here either. What? I just wanted that extra debug log out of there. Oh, this thing's in here. All right, that was throwing me off. Well, that's nice that is there, but why aren't my variables working here? Oh. Wait, what? This should be dot. Do we have a name in here? I don't have a name in here? Why do I find that hard to believe? I don't have a name in here. All right, we'll do it a different way. And I forgot to put name here. All right, that would be a major issue. I can tell my brain's wearing out. I still cannot believe people program for 8 hours a day. They can't possibly program for 8 hours a day. Why did I do this? I mean, they do, but they can't possibly be efficient for 8 hours a day. It must be absolute horse shit by the time that they're done. Okay, this Portland is in the shipbirds. This Tillamook is in the shipbirds. That is correct. The Cowlitz is in faction 1. Wasco, I can't remember which one's Wasco. That one's Wasco. All right, and Harney and Umatilla and Douglas. So that's correct. So whatever we just did was correct. So if that's the case, then we just need to add this. What did I just jump to here? We just need to add. Oh, we got it right here. Did we? Are we using this multiple times? We might as well. Put this here. This is faction AI. AI equals. Oh, but we'd have to do it after the. What are we doing? How is this working? All right, it's part of the thing. I can already tell this song sucks too. I know you guys can't hear what I'm listening to. Uh, but I can tell this is off the new album, and it is. Too many guitar solos. Too many guitar solos with shitty with shitty vocals. Okay, so let's now test this for with. Let's test this with this. It's not gonna like this. Oh, this is gonna work. Not with if faction I. List County does not have a definition for name. Yeah, I think it wants like a number in here. Yeah, it does, which that's not going to help us because we don't know what number that is unless we. I guess we could do this, but this is what we had in there because it's going to have 2 on some of them. We could just do 0 for now. That'll work for now. Well, the one will be missing, but that will work for now. Actually, the whole point of this is so we can see this shit in the inspector. So, we should be able to see this in the inspector, anyways. The shipbird should have 2. I can't believe any of this shit worked. And then you have 1. And I'm surprised it's not giving me that error where it says like, "Hey, you got a loop in here," because we do. I'm just gonna make sure that like this goes to Harney. I guess we need to be over here. So that works. We can get rid of this debug log because that was trash, anyways. God, this song sucks too. Like I said, they have 2 good songs on this album, I thought. Just getting sidetracked looking at music. That means it's time for me to call it a day. Yeah, they have 2 good songs. That's it. Yeah, let's get rid of this thing too, because I'm gonna wonder why it looks like that at some point. All right, so for this, it's gonna run, and well, so this works. This works exactly how we wanted it. We're gonna change. Well, let's save this thing. And let's close this thing. And then let's do a new branch. And this is going to be called Faction AI. This is going to be the very basics of Faction AI. Like I said, the goal is to make it build 1 building, or start building 1 building. I have no fucking idea how I'm going to do that, but that's what we're gonna have it do that, like at the beginning of the day or whatever, the beginning of the first, the day after the game starts. Yeah, and the buildings are all attached to this, so that's. Did I not commit this shit? Let's push this. But yeah, then I'm calling it a day. It's not even 3 hours. Well, it's pretty close 3 hours, but my brain is done. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for engaging me in chat. I like talking to people. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.